Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Hi.
So it's good to see you. I'm Coach Tara B, and we're have this opportunity to engage and interview each other. So I want to give you this opportunity to introduce yourself to the community and talk about why we're here tonight.
Okay, I am Coach Jamie Watkins. I'm CEO and founder of My Piece of Happy, and I'm a life coach specializing in self-love, confidence, accountability, and I help empower women on their journey of personal growth to discover their piece of happy.
All right. So I am a coach, a life and relationship coach, and I just started this journey in April of 2020. I am here because of a personal situation that happened several years ago, but also it kind of led me down this path of coaching. And but I just want to continue to help people live authentic and truthful and show up in the best version of themselves. I feel like people that are healthy and happy, they show up different, and
Yes,
it really makes them show up different in the way they come into the relationships, and that just it makes a difference each and every day.
absolutely. That's beautiful. So,
So So we're going to journey down this path of interviewing each other, and we did a poll of our community, and we asked our clients, our people, our fans, so to speak, different questions. Asked them of questions, and so they sent us some questions. So I'm going to plunge right in and ask you a few questions, and we're going to give you an opportunity to answer them, excuse me, and kind of go from there. So the first one that I have for you, Jamie, is what is the best lesson that you have learned for My Piece of Happy?
okay, the best lesson I've learned would be that I can do it, that I set out on my journey to create and design this platform, to build a community, and we are continuously growing and expanding. What started out as a blog community is now expanding into life coaching services and workshops. So any doubt that I had early on or had to overcome to go and step into what I believe to be my purpose, that biggest lesson is I could do it. Follow the course, stay the course. And it takes time, it takes consistency, but it will work out.
Absolutely. That's excellent.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
So you explained a little bit about an experience that led you to wanting to get into the coaching, but can you expand on that a little bit? Why did you get into coaching?
So I got into it because of a situation that happened in my life. I Back in 2015. Well, let me back up a little bit. I've been married for 23 years, and in all marriages, thank you. All marriages. Well, let me speak for my marriage. We've had amazing times. We've had good, but as well as the good, we've also had our challenges. And so being very transparent, back in 2015, we had a little situation, and it kind of, in all honesty, it kind of rocked me a little bit. And so at that time, I had to take a full look at my life and my take an inventory. So that's what I did. I sat back. I took inventory of my life. I took an inventory of my marriage, and we made some changes. I kind of found my voice. I We did it together. I made some demands. And so we made some changes together. And as a result of that, I'm not afraid. I have no shame in saying that, that we went to counseling as well. But in the overall picture, it has made us grow, and we are much stronger and much closer. And it was in light of the ugliness, it was the best thing that ever happened to us, because
Mhm.
we realized that we needed to change and we needed to
Yeah.
do better. And as a result of that, I had to do some internal work. And I and I thought that at that time I would have loved to have had a coach to help me along that journey, because I did do some work, and to
Mhm.
help somebody to have that voice and those resources and those guides, things like that. I didn't, and so that's what's kind of led me down here, to be that resource to someone else. And so that's why I'm doing this.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And I love that you said you found your voice. That's very important. And at the same time, the two of you work together.
Yeah.
So I love that. And I love that you not only went through the journey, it's your story, but you realize that your story is not just for you. So you can
Yeah.
share the tools and make it easier. Like you said, if you would have had a coach, make it easier for someone going through that same thing. Not only can you relate, but you can give them the tools to get through it a little better. So
Yep.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So my next question for you, Jamie, is, in that same token, um, you talked a little bit about your blog. And so how did you get the idea of starting your blog?
That came about, well, I'll back up. I know I have the gifts of help and encouragement. So I've always had the vision of having a platform or having uh, almost like a brick and mortar, or this place that women can come to be encouraged. And it was more like a motivational, definitely on the motivational side. And it always came down to years of the dream, but whether it be resources or time or the kids, right? Just never doing it. And finally, I read a book, Rachel Hollis's book, Girl Wash Your Face. And two nuggets I took from that was, one, other people's opinion of you is none of your business, right?
Yes.
And so don't worry about what everybody's going to think when you try to do this thing, and that your dream doesn't have an expiration date. So despite, I'm in my second marriage, so despite divorce, bankruptcy, and all that I had been through up to that point that kept deterring or deferring the dream,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I can work with what I have now. And a blog was, okay, I can get the message, I can share, I can build community, I can get the motivation and the message out without having to have all these resources, because it's pretty much free. I pay for some hosting, and you got Instagram is free. You know, I can reach even a bigger audience
Yeah.
than I was trying to locally to get a group of women together. So that's what I did. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
launch it. I'm going to put it out there. And I felt this is what I'm purposed to do. So, and I remember just saying, I don't care if it's just one person
Mm-hmm.
that says I needed that or great, then I know I'm going to keep going. Right.
Yeah.
Because I just found the freedom and liberty in knowing I'm doing
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to be doing.
I love it. I love the fact that you know what your purpose is and that you're reaching the masses and you're sharing that gift, because a lot of people are afraid to do that because they feel like what you said earlier, you don't care what other people think. You're just going to go out there and you're going to do it, and that someone is going to need to hear that. And so I commend you. I think it's beautiful that you're willing to put yourself out there and go ahead and share that. That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's where the confidence coach part comes in.
Yes. And we'll talk about that.
Because
I'm going to ask you
I
about
call,
that soon.
oh, yes. Well, the next question I have for you, and we're throwing around coach, right? And you said you went to counseling, and I get it a lot as a coach. What is a life coach, and what makes you different from this? So what is the difference between like a life coach and mental health counselor?
Good question. Thank you for asking, because I've been asked that before. So a life coach is, and I'm going to have to look at my notes because I don't want to mix it up. So in case someone is, out there listening, like, "Ooh, what is the difference?" So a life
Yeah.
coach is someone that can help navigate you through a situation that you may be facing. We encourage, we advise, we counsel, we help set goals and a path. We use like my experience, my what I've been through, like my situation, because I put in some work. I know how it feels to be in a situation and in something that I have to work through. I've done some things to help me get to the end of that and be successful in navigating that path. So I know I can help someone else do the same thing. A mental health Counselor is a medical professional. They've been to school, they've got the degree, they got the PhD, they have all those things behind them. And they help their patients achieve emotional wellness. Counselors see patients on an ongoing basis, and they are part of a treatment plan. So there's a fine line, a difference between the two. We coach, we help, we encourage, we advise, we set goals, plans, things like that. Mental health counseling is completely different. They're on a treatment plan. They may be helping someone that's coming through trauma or something like that, who's dealing with addiction or, some type of trauma-based things like that. So we're completely different than the two. We are completely different than the two.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. Well, thanks for clearing that up for anybody that had that question or wasn't sure exactly what it is. So thank you for that.
Since we're talking about coaching, let's talk about you and this confident coach, because I know you have this amazing spirit, and you are known as a confidence coach. So let's talk to the people and tell us a little bit about you and what you do in this arena as being a confidence coach.
Well, I am confidence coach sounds really good. Like, yes, I want confidence, but I really focus on with my clients is the courage to be confident. But nobody wants to say they're a fear coach, right? But I call it courageous confidence. That's what I have. When you see people and you're like, wow, like she's rocking that style, or, she got up, she's speaking to all those people. She's so confident. I wish I was that confident. My personal experience, at least, I'm always nervous.
Me too.
I do it anyway. So it's more of a courageous confidence that you do it sweaty, you do it nervous.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying before. You know that it's your purpose, that your story matters, that this is going to help someone. So you have to do it.
Yes.
Your gift is not for you. It's to serve others. So that's primarily is helping whoever that is that's saying, yeah, I need confidence. Okay, well, let's look at what's stopping you, right? What fears may be blocking you, or why are you a little hesitant? Why don't you want to just wear your hair like that? Or why don't you just step out on that stage?
Yeah.
Which usually goes back to, well, maybe it's the opinions about what are they going to say? Or maybe I talk too fast, or whatever it is. Let's embrace ourselves, right? That's why I say self-love, confidence, and accountability. Let's embrace ourselves and who we are, and get past that, get that courage to be confident.
Yeah. So helping them get unstuck. I love it. I love it. Yes. Excellent.
Thank you. So now another question that came in for you, what's your background or experience level when it comes to dealing with men and women coming out of a bad relationship? I know you touched a little bit about having that history and working through that, but you want to expand on anything or add anything?
So like I said, I did talk about it a little bit. And so, but this question is kind of tricky because, like I said earlier, I've been married for the majority of my life. My relationship, I can't really speak on a bad relationship because I can only talk about my marriage, and I've made it through. But my suggestion, if I was to suggest something to someone, I would look at, why would you consider a relationship to be bad? What was it? Was it lack of communication? Was it priorities? Was it, are you guys at a different point in your lives that maybe you're passing through the night? Is it compatibility issues? Think about why you would consider your relationship to be bad. And then once you figure out what made your relationship, or what you consider to make your relationship bad, work on yourself. Take the time and work on yourself and figure out if I choose to go back into another relationship, know what you want, know what you're going to set, some core values, set some standards. I'm big on having your voice, finding your voice, because for a while, I didn't have my voice. I had it, but I didn't have it. And so make sure that you have your voice, and then talk to your partner. Communication is so key. Have those courageous conversations, and then you can find that fulfillment, because it's so important. It's so, so very important. And then I don't think relationships are bad. I just think some people are not meant to be together. And you find that out. Not everybody is meant to be together. And so you just have to work through that. And that's pretty much how I feel about that.
I love that. And there was that word courageous again, courageous conversations. I love that. And communication is good. Like I said, I went through divorce, so I can definitely attest to doing the work. Once that marriage was over, it was over. So there's no more, the other person's not around. So I own, what am I going to do before I get into another relationship, and take the experience and make it best. Like I'm bomb white now. I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you learn some things the second time around, right? So,
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, where I had thought I lost myself, well, I did lose myself. I found myself, and like you said, I made it very clear, like, this is who I am.
Yes.
Those standards and those boundaries, and yeah. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. So going back to your My Piece of Happy, because I love that. I love the My Piece of Happy. It's like My Piece of Happy. You have to have that little piece of happy, and it just like sets your world on fire. So going back to that, did you ever have any doubts after you started I'm sorry, let me start all over again. Did you ever have any doubts after your ideas started flowing with your blog? If so, do you have any encouragement on how you would navigate through self-doubt? Because self-doubt can be such a big thing when you're starting out with anything. And so, like, share with the people how you, if you did, and how you got through it.
Yeah. I never doubted that this is my purpose, that I'm supposed to do it. And so once it got flowing, it was never a question on whether I was going to do it or not. But I did doubt, like, my approach, or am I doing it right? Is there a right way to do it, right? So now, okay, I have this blog. I know I'm supposed to be getting this message out. I'm writing these blogs. But is this the best approach, or are people receiving it? That was in the very beginning, where you're, I guess, questioning how it's received. I remember I did a post in the early beginning, and it was written on what every woman should know about sex. And I was like, should I put the sex thing out there? Is that gonna, like, deter people? But then I was like, this is me. Like, I'm very open, right? And so that's a part of relationship, and relationship is a topic on my blog. So I was like, absolutely. But those, those doubts did come. And to the latter part of how would I advise somebody to overcome those self-doubts, be confident again, or in my case, where I'm kind of hesitant, find that courage to be confident that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if you don't do it, right, this is your story, your purpose. If you don't do it, who's going to do it?
Who's going to do it?
And if the answer is, if it is something like, well, somebody else would do it, do you want somebody else to do it if you were supposed to do that? Or do you want to do it, right? So for me, it's, okay, if this is what I'm purposed to do, I want a well done at the end of all this. So I got to do it. I don't give myself the option. It's just kind of like, you got to do it.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Just do it. It's just like Nike. Just do it. You got to do it. Just do it.
And then the flip side of that, when that fear and hesitation and doubt and other people's voices, do it anyway. Do it anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So I'm confident, self-love, accountability, your life, relationship. Were there any other, and I'm just kind of tweaking this question because I want to know.
Okay.
Was there any other type of coach you considered, or what was the deciding factor, which is the actual question, in becoming a life relationship coach?
Not really. It took me a long time to get to this point, because I knew I wanted to do something. I knew I wanted to give back. I knew that there was power in my story and in my journey. So I knew that. I knew I've always been the one that wanted to help the next person and help them get to that place. but I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know. I've done mentoring. I've done coaching in a different way, but I didn't kind of put it into place, so to speak. So I never thought about a different way. I just knew that it was something I wanted to do. So then I stepped out on faith, took that leap, and so my deciding factor was, yeah, this is something that I really want to do. I want to help people. I want to help people if they're in that place where I used to be, get to where I'm at now. And
Yeah.
I, through all my work and through my journey and through that, it just, it clicked to me one day that yes, you can do this. Yes, there's power, there's healing in what you do. There's somebody out there needs what you have. And
Yes.
and it's like, you know, finding your purpose. We talk about that. We talk about finding your purpose. And I've heard so many people say, when you can find your purpose and it gets you up every day and you know that that's something, whether you get paid for it or not, that's besides the point. Just knowing that I can make a difference. If it helps one person, then I know that that I'm in the right place. And so that's where I'm at, you know, outside of everything else. Yeah, it was tough. But we made it and we're so much closer. We're so much better. But
Yes.
yeah, so that's it.
Oh, awesome. You said a couple of things. You're like finding your purpose. Yes, that is what my piece of happy, and it's PEACE.
Mm-hmm.
That is my piece of happy is mine. Your piece of happy is this coaching.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. And I love the other thing you said is a quote that I actually say, I can't stop now. Someone needs what I have. You can't, like you said, right? You can't stop.
Yes.
You can't, you know what you're supposed to be doing. Somebody needs what you have.
Yep.
And to feel that is just amazing. Like, that's why I'm like, I want everybody to, like you, discover their piece of happy, like whatever it is for you, because the feeling it's amazing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So my next question is this, is coaching something that you've always wanted to do?
It is much like you. I didn't call it coaching. I've always wanted to help. I always wanted a space. I used to say, like when I was younger, it was like, I'm going to have a talk show, right? I'm going to.
I can see that. I can see you being on stages.
You know? So then it evolved into, I was going to do a YouTube channel, right? Like, but it was always, I'm going to have a platform to help women. I'm going to, so it was, and I didn't know what it was. It was, is it a book? Is it a YouTube channel? Is it, you know, so that evolved over time to the point that I was like, okay, a blog, right? Somehow this has got to get out of me in the world.
Yeah. Yes.
So it ended up being the blog. And then the blog from the very beginning, it has always been centered around community, and that it's more than a blog, because I knew this is a starting point. This is the panel discussions, whether it's stages, it's going somewhere. And so then the pandemic hit with COVID-19, and I had 4 events lined up, live events. And I'm like, okay, well, those aren't going to happen. So I was finally, you know, after a year of the blog and stuff, okay, now we're getting into the live groups of women, and okay, speaking, first a big event, and then these other little ones, those got canceled. And it's like, okay, what, I have to do something. This is a season for what, right? So it's not just going to be canceled and over. And this kind of really just came like, oh, a webinar on life coaching, like it was free. So I was like, let me see. And it was like, that's it. It was like, God was like, here, like, you know why the whole everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
And the season, right? Everybody's season, they're supposed to get something out. This was what it was for me.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that, and now I know it's like, oh, this is it. Right? It was like down the line, maybe one day, you know, but that was like way back after I do this and that, and you know, it'll evolve into, it was like, no, now here it is.
There it is. It's right here in your face. It's your time. It's now. It's this time. So that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, it was, I'm sorry, I'm going to back. It was also, I want to, because somebody might be where I was. It was also that narrative that the reason it was so far back, like not yet,
Mm-hmm.
You're not ready. You're not equipped enough. You need the degree and you don't have a degree in whatever, right? So you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned like, yeah, you can. You have what you need.
Yep. Somebody needs
So
to hear
yeah,
what you have.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So your inspiration that keeps you going, that's your big why, so that if you come across doubt or fears or hesitation, you keep pressing on.
Ugh. So that's a loaded question because I have so many inspirations, honestly. It's like, it's several things. It's my, I can look out and I have my husband, I have my children, I have my mother, I have the people that I know that I can reach. That's my inspiration. That's me being able to get up every day and keep plugging away. That's what keeps
Yes.
me going because I know that I can make a difference. And I know it kind of goes back a little bit to the last question, that knowing that if I can help one person, it can just be one single person.
Yeah.
If they can get to that end and they can come back and say, Tara, you made a difference. Sorry, Coach B, you made a difference. Then I know that I've done my part. It warms my heart. It gives me that drive and determination to keep pushing forward. That's my inspiration. I get so much joy in helping someone get to a better place, because at one point in time I needed help getting to a better place, and so I found my way. And so knowing that I can help someone else, that is my inspiration. It fills me up to no end. And so yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. I love that. You giving me joy. That's a beautiful thing. That
Oh,
is a
and
beautiful.
you know what? And I forgot, I cannot say this. I'm sorry. I know it sounds, I should have said this too. And my God, because I know that He is the at the forefront of everything. So I know without Him, none of this is possible. But
Oh,
it I have to make sure that's out there as well. That gives me my inspiration, because He guides and He makes sure it's okay, and make sure that He leads me in the right direction, gives me the fortitude and the energy, because
yes.
it takes a lot. It takes a lot to, sometimes you get discouraged. So yes, and that's my inspiration.
Yes, and the energy is the truth. I mean,
Yeah.
I sometimes it's like 1 o'clock, and I'm like, you got to go to bed,
Yeah.
but he's just lit that like you can't stop.
Yep.
Whereas before this, it's like I'm falling asleep at 9 o'clock. Like there was no, but that fireman, he's like, nope, nope,
Uh-huh.
waking you up with ideas, you know?
Yeah. I grab my phone, I'm recording stuff.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
So
definitely.
Jamie, how do you juggle your personal life and your professional passion?
Personal life and professional passion. I do set intent, because I can't, like I said, you can get so like, oh, go, 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 go. One of the things initially, and I'm in my home office, but I was like, oh, I just need a little space, and I was going to put the desk in my bedroom. And I was like, no, because the bedroom is ours.
Yes.
And so I made it like I'm going to have this space so that I can leave this when I'm done, and then have that. Although I will say during the schedule is just everything. I have brought my laptop upstairs.
Yeah. I'm guilty of
Thrown
that
all
too.
of this. But even that, I communicate.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my husband, I'm like, is this okay, or how do you feel? I make sure that I shut down. Like this past weekend, I slowed down. It's like, let's watch a movie. So I'm intentional about trying to be conscious, just always aware, that I don't get too inundated in one or the other, because I could just forget about it. But this is my gift. I have a job to do. So,
Yeah.
and my husband is very understanding, and so are my kids, and I have
Yeah.
teenagers. Um, I set standards and boundaries with them. Like I gave a little holler, hey, going live. shut your doors and don't come down. But then
Yeah.
when I'm done, my daughter was hanging out in my room with me earlier. So yeah, I just try to always be intentional, to balance it and
Yeah.
it's really a juggling. I don't know if the question said juggling or balance, but it is a juggling, right?
Hmm.
You can try to mesh the two, but something's going to get more. So
Yeah.
I just try to keep, one up, one down. Just
Yeah.
it's a juggling act.
Yeah. But the point is you're having those conversations, and you're telling your family members that you're doing this so that they know, and it's about the communication. It's about the art of communication, and that's the most important part. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And explaining your why, like you told me, and I'm like, oh, I feel the joy. Like there's no way if I'm in the other room and I see you doing what you're doing that I'm going to be like, Tara, I don't have enough, like how can you stop that?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, so, and that's kind of the atmosphere around here. It's like, go mom, my husband's very supportive. It's like, no, do what you got to do. Like, I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So last one, and it's a big one. And I know you have an acronym for this word and everything. So I'm just waiting to hear this one. How do you confront your fears?
Ah, yes, I do. It's interesting that question came about because I just did a video over this, and it's face everything and rise. And it's it's so funny because my biggest fear is talking on the camera. It like
And say that one more time because I don't know if people caught it. Fear is,
face everything and rise.
I love it.
You just gotta face it, and you gotta rise above it, because we have so many things that we are fearful of. But if we face it head on, we can get past it. Like, I'm so fearful on talking on camera. Like, it just, I get
I can't tell.
nervous. I just get nervous. But it's like, I gotta do it. I gotta get it. Like, people gotta see my face. They gotta hear me. They gotta know that I'm a person behind what I'm doing. I can talk to you in person all day long, but this camera thing, I don't know what it is. And it's crazy because it's like I'm behind the scenes, but it's a
Like,
crazy thing. I don't know. It's a psyche thing. But I'm thinking, like, what's the worst that can happen? I'll fumble my words, but okay, so I'll fumble my words, and I'll just laugh at myself. So,
right.
okay. But I just, the way I combat it is just keep going and keep trying and keep putting myself out there, and I'll get used to it. I've done Toastmasters, so I just keep putting myself out there, and that's what you have to do. Whatever you're fearful of, just keep putting yourself out there, keep stepping out there, keep leaping, and you will get past it. Trust me, because I'm doing it.
Yes,
I'm
you
doing it,
are.
and we can do it together. Come see me. We can do it together.
Yes, that's great. I'm glad you said that because now that we gotten through your questions, come see you. Can you give the listeners where to find you, your website, your Instagram handle, all that good stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So, like I said, I'm a life and relationship coach, and my website is www.coachtarab.com, and it's CoachTarab.com. My Instagram handle, my Facebook handle is all the same. I keep it consistent, make it
Yes.
easy. And my email is tarab39@gmail.com. You can reach out to me at any time, and I'm more than willing to answer any questions, talk to you about anything that may be going on in your life, and see how we can get together and schedule a discovery call and talk, and go from there. But yes, I welcome the opportunity. So thank you, Jamie. And
You are
on
very
that
welcome.
note, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Um, Everything that we said, we've had an amazing interview, but I want to close it out with everything that you do for My Piece of Happy, and your life and juggling and your blogs and all that stuff. Tell the listeners, how do you keep yourself positive and motivated while you are helping others?
Self-care. Self-care and positive is just my mindset. So I'm very big on, I don't know if you can see this, people are as happy as they choose to be.
Yeah.
And embrace your narrative.
Yes.
Two big things for me. My narrative, I'm big on affirmations. So in journaling, so I remind myself as I journal daily, do my daily journaling, who I am, that I have this purpose, my goals, and I choose happy. I choose happy. I believe it's a choice, and I choose. I choose it. I choose to not let any person or situation or circumstance decide that for me. I do take time to cry when I need to cry, and I choose that. I choose to let myself feel in that moment, or whatever that is, whatever the mood is. But I own that. So to the positivity and all the good vibes that I try to push out, I really feel it. I really believe it. And I had someone say something about, like, it's a lot of fluff, like it's not obtainable or it's not genuine. But I really believe that what I say, I try to live this thing that I'm pushing, that it is your choice and it's freeing. So
Yeah.
the motivation and inspiration behind the fact that I'm living my purpose, that I was created for this. So I know God's got my back. It's like I win in the end. So I'm excited about that. So that keeps me in this mindset of like, okay, like if he's happy, I'm happy. Right? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So, and I know that I can't fail. I will grow. I will learn what the world may view as failure. That didn't work out, or it just didn't happen the way it was supposed to. I grow, I learn, I keep going. So I would say, to sum up the answer, it would be keeping a positive mindset, point which I coach on mindset and your narrative, and really embracing and believing in yourself.
Good. I love it. So I can speak for myself, anybody who comes in touch with Jamie is going to leave better. She just has a way of just lifting you up. So there's no way that you can't leave Jamie in My Piece of Happy and not feel inspired, happy, joyful. It's just no way. Either you're living under a rock or you just didn't have the same experience that I did. So that said, thank you, and tell the people how they can get in touch with you. What's your website, your Instagram, your Facebook, all that, how they can get in touch with you so they can have a little piece of My Piece of Happy and what I've experienced while being in touch with you.
Well, thank you so much. To God be the glory. I'm still becoming on this journey, but I appreciate that feedback. And My Piece of Happy, again, you'll see this all throughout. It's just to remind people that it's PEACE. So it's MYPEACEOFHAPPY. So that's mypieceofhappy.com, My Piece of Happy on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can email me, jamie@mypieceofhappy.com. And I offer free discovery calls. If you're not sure, I need a little bit more about how you can help me. I don't know if you can help me with this. They can schedule a free discovery call and we'll talk through it and go from there. We grow better together.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so good. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been a pleasure spending this time with you, us getting to know each other a little bit better. I've really enjoyed our time together.
Likewise. Thank you so much. And just for the audience, Tara is my accountability partner. So it's just been an amazing experience. Everything is for a reason. So I'm glad that we have crossed paths and we can continue to grow together on this journey. So I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.